Jesus taught his disciples with images from nature, emphasizing God's love for all of creation and the abundance that comes from earth if people live in right relationship with it. He said, "Why are we so anxious and competitive about what we are to eat and what we should wear? Look at the birds of the air. They do not do any productive work, and they are fed from the hand of God. And the flowers in the field do not work either, and yet they are clothed in beauty greater than any king." And again, divine life is like living eternal water that nourishes such that one will never thirst again. It is like a vine of which we are all part, a vine that bears unending fruit. And again, the reign of God is like a mustard seed, which starts very small but soon grows large and takes over everything, giving shelter and protection where everyone can find a home.
During the summer of 2015, Pope Francis issued an anticipated encyclical called Laudato Si. The document is a love song to God's creation and a plea for all of us as individuals and as societies to undergo an ecological conversion that responds to the destruction of earth and the oppression of the poor, both of which are the result of an economy that places profit over people. In word and deed, Francis calls human beings to become painfully aware, to dare to turn what is happening to the world into our own personal suffering, and thus to discover what each of us can do about it. Continuing the initiatives of Pope Benedict, who some people called the Green Pope, Francis shows us examples of how human beings can take our proper place in creation, living simply, choosing modest transportation, and opting for solar power at the Vatican. In a dramatic, artistic gesture, an ecological light show was held at the Vatican in which diverse photographs from nature were projected across St. Peter's Basilica, a beautiful symbol of a church in which human-constructed institutions, traditions, and initiatives are not at war with God's garden, but enlivened by and deeply connected to it.
Communities throughout the world are responding in their own ways to Pope Francis's call for an ecological conversion. For example, the Archdiocese of Atlanta, with the help of the University of Georgia, has published an action plan with suggestions for putting the encyclical into practice. Parishes are holding discussions on how families and individuals can live more simply with respect to the environment. Catholic high schools in the Diocese of Nashville are integrating Laudato Si into their curriculum, not only intellectually, but experientially, as they compost their waste and grow food in school gardens tended by the students. Catholics worldwide are calling for a movement beyond fossil fuels to fight climate change. People of faith are involved in movements to defend Mother Earth in local communities as well. In coal country, Catholics are helping to shape a post-coal future as that industry declines. And in the Philippines, Archbishop Ramon Argüelles led 10,000 people in a march calling for a moratorium on the construction of new coal plants.